Hey Chris, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah.
So, tell me, what do you do? What's your company?
The heat and air guy.
And what does the heat and air guy
Heat and
do?
air guy. We do heat and air.
Imagine that, what a name. So, how long have you been in business?
Since 2017, so almost 8 years.
8 years. That's a pretty good run so far.
Yes.
So, tell me about starting the heat and air guy.
So, it's a long story. I was working at another company, wasn't happy. Was kind of interviewing around, seeing what was out there, didn't find anything I liked. Decided I should start my own company and build a place where technicians like me could call home, could come and be happy and actually enjoy working.
Was it hard starting a company?
Well, yes. Nothing good comes easy, right?
Yeah, true. Nothing good comes easy, but you escaped something you didn't want to do anymore.
Yeah.
Work for somebody who is miserable to work for.
Yeah.
So when you started your own company, did you start with buying trucks, renting buildings, buying tons of equipment?
No. I used my personal truck and milk jugs full of parts. And I already had the tools since I've been doing it, since 2008. And just threw up some Google ads and made a drop and drag website and went at it.
That's it.
That's it.
And customers started coming.
Yeah.
Okay. So then what were your next steps from there?
So started the Google ads, did that all on my own, started the website, did it all on my own. And then I decided I needed to do networking, which is where we met back in 2018.
Yes.
2018.
Quite a while ago.
Yes. And then that's where, you're like, hey, you spend way too much on Google ads. You need to do this. And it's just progressed from there, right? So stepping stones.
Okay. So now you're up to how many technicians?
3,
3 technicians and how many trucks?
3, 4, 5, 6, including mine.
6. Wow. That's a long way from milk crates in the back of a pickup truck.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're also all branded now, too. They're not just...
All fully 100% wrapped, yeah. So, and before we just slapped, heat and air guy on the side and went to town, and now they're all fully wrapped and colored and logoed and everything.
Why do you do that?
Well, it's a rolling billboard, right? Number one advertising source is the truck going down the street that everyone sees. Truck parked in front of the house. You look at your blinds. Who's at my neighbor's house? Well, you can clearly see who's there.
Has it always been easy to run your business?
No.
Tell me about that.
So, there's lots of challenges, right? So, in life of an entrepreneur, 1 minute it's going good, next minute it's not, next minute it is. It's, the roller coaster.
So your business is also very seasonal.
Very seasonal.
So your first year, you went out on your own.
Yeah.
You probably started springtime.
Yes, springtime.
So you had a really great summer.
Yes.
What happened that winter?
So I knew starting my company that I had to have maintenance agreements in order to help me survive through that winter. So day one, call number one, step number one, before I even took the first answer, I built my maintenance plan and everyone I talked to about it. I sold over 100 maintenance agreements that first summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a maintenance agreement is what?
So it consists of a technician come out to your house twice a year, check out your heater and your AC in the respective seasons, change the filter, check over the electronics or Freon, make sure it's going to operate through that season efficiently for you.
Okay, so it's kind of like a subscription service?
Yeah.
So that's how that helps you through your winter?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So you call those people in the winter and say, hey, it's time to check your heater out. We go out, we check it out, and ideally we find some things wrong, but we go from there.
Knowing what you know now, would you still go back and start your business?
That's a hard question. I would definitely start a business of some sort. I may look into buying one instead.
Tell me about that. Why do you think buying one would be a good idea?
So you would have those systems and processes in place. You'd have the customers. You'd have, the software. You'd have all that done in place already. You wouldn't have that headache of building all that stuff.
But it requires large capital.
Requires large capital, yes.
Did you have the capital to do it?
No,
back
I did
then?
not. So I didn't do it back then.
Okay.
But I definitely don't regret my decision of working for myself.
So you're happy with your decision now?
Yes. Oh yeah.
What did we say, 8 years in now?
8 years in.
And you're happy with that decision to start a business?
Yes, I think it was a very good decision.
How does it impact your family?
So at the time, my wife ran her own business, a daycare. Since then, she's been able to sell it, be a stay-at-home mom with the kids, and take care of her grandma.
That's cool.
Yes, that's probably the most rewarding thing of owning the business was her being able to step away, take care of her grandma, take care of the house, take care of the kids.
Okay. What would be your number one piece of advice to somebody who's thinking maybe they want to go out on their own or start their own thing?
Don't wait, do it now.
Really? All right, that's a little different than I'm not so sure.
Right. So, but with anything I do in business is always been move fast, right? If I say we're going to do something, we're going to do it. Same thing when I decided to start my business, I didn't hesitate. Once I made the decision I wanted to do that, I did it. Don't wait. Just do it.
Okay. Now, over the years, I've known you for quite a while now.
Yes.
7 of those 8, I guess.
Yes.
You've done some different coaching programs.
Yes.
Tell me about those. Why do you do coaching? What's that about?
Well, I mean, even Michael Jordan had a coach, right?
True, but he's a multi-million-dollar basketball player. You were a struggling business owner at that point.
He was a struggling basketball player at one point in time, too.
True.
So I don't know everything.
Okay.
So I reach out to people that do know specifics about what they're good at, and I learn from them. So you were pretty much my marketing coach. Learned a lot of marketing from you. Nick was my business coach at the time. Learned a lot from him. Just learning from people.
Now, there's different types of coaching and different expense levels to coaching.
Yes.
Frequently, I hear people talk about it's too expensive.
It's not an expense, it's an investment.
Okay.
The way I always say it.
I remember Nick was very expensive when
He's
you had him.
very expensive, but he's really good. He helped me set up processes and systems and helped me think through a lot of what I do now. Nick also helped me with not just the business, but personally with, how you carry yourself, how you think about yourself as a business owner, not a technician, right? Move away from E-Myth, move away from the tech and into the business owner.
Gotcha. So even though the fee was high, it was profitable, it was worth it, it helped your business grow?
I don't think I'd be here today without him today. I believe I could have gotten here, but not as quickly as I did.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Because I know that's a big question for a lot of people. Why would I pay that kind of money?
Yeah.
So now you started your business. It started out of your pickup truck, basically. Yep. You're here now. Mm-hmm. Tell me what your day looks like now.
So I don't go to the field very often anymore. A lot of my day-to-day activity is going to be helping the service techs when they have questions. I'm helping them answer those questions. Helping them with the software, setting up estimates, things like that. My salesman, I help him go through the bids and make sure, hey, this is what we should be doing, things like that. Just help manage, I guess you'd say. Just help manage everybody.
So now you're really more of a manager, mentor, teacher?
Yep.
That's very different than crawling through an attic on a 100-degree day.
Yes.
Do you miss it?
Not addicts, no. So I'm a technician at heart.
Okay.
So I do miss the tools, working on them. But being a business owner, I get to decide. If I have a day where I'm going to be in the field, I'm just like, hey, schedule me a couple no ACs, let's go fix them. Or I can jump in a van with the technician and just ride along with them and get my hands back on the tools if I ever want to.
That's fun.
Yes.
So you get to kind of create your day more now.
Yes.
Okay. So what makes the heat and air guy unique? Because, okay, you started in your pickup truck, but there were already plenty of heat and air guys in your area.
So that's a hard question to answer. That's probably the hardest question you're going to ask me. What makes us different from the other guys?
Why do customers call you? I mean, especially when you were new, why? I mean, there were plenty of other people more established than you.
Right. That's a good. I don't know how to answer that question. So it's a mixture of things, right? So when you first started, it was just availability, right? Mm-hmm. Oklahoma, 120 degrees outside. They're sweating in their house. They want to fix. They don't care who it is, as long as you're licensed. Come out, fix it. Don't screw me over.
Okay.
So that's kind of where it started. Now we are more all-inclusive. So you call us out to look at a system. We're not going to just look at the system. We're going to look at the functionality of it, like the ductwork, the way it was installed, just a lot more than just, hey, my capacitor's broken, slap a part on there and go. No, we're going to look at the whole system.
Okay, so that's why they call you now. And they called you initially because you were available.
Yeah. A lot of my market's driven by demand.
By demand. People don't like being 120 degree hot, huh?
Yeah.
So let's talk about customers for a minute. So you said you were taking calls initially because you were available.
Mm-hmm.
I frequently talk about not every dollar is a good dollar.
Yeah.
What do you find in your customers? Do you go after every customer you can find? Do you not? How do you decide what's good work?
This is a very new turning point in my company. Very recent. So before it was go after everything I can. That was new. Now it's, listening to what the customer says and seeing if we're the right fit to solve their problem and we're the right fit in a relationship. All right? Because, I can fix any air conditioner, but is the relationship between the company and the customer, the homeowner, is it going to be a right fit? And that's what we're going to be looking more for now.
If you could go back to the beginning, would you change that mindset from the beginning, or would you still just go after every dollar in the beginning?
It's hard, right? Because I have bills to pay too.
You do, and they're very real bills.
They're real bills. They come every month, no matter what.
And your family likes to eat food. That's not free.
Kids like chicken nuggets. So I probably would have tried to make this shifting point sooner.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely try to work towards. It would have been more of a goal. So where for me, it kind of just happened.
Okay.
Should have been a goal to make happen.
And what do you see then, since it's something that you think you should have done earlier, but you're doing now, what do you see as the value of not taking every customer? Because why don't you want every dollar you can get and become a millionaire overnight?
Number one, less stress.
Okay.
All right, so when we were taking those, I call them red flag customers. Customers that I see the red flags, they're not going to be a good fit. When I was taking them, created a lot of high stress because they're not a good fit and it's a difficult relationship to manage. So now we don't do those. It's a lot less stressful. Customers are a lot happier, a lot more 5-star reviews. They're willing to pay more as well.
So the good customer is actually more profitable than the every dollar customer?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
But that's not the way we typically think.
No. Yeah, their lifetime value of the good customer is so much higher than that bad customer.
So do you think by taking only good customers, you'll become a millionaire faster than if you continue going after every dollar?
That's what I'm told.
It's yet to be decided, huh?
Right. But I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I did the math, so you've been with me long enough. Mm-hmm. I was 24/7 when I started. Mm-hmm. You probably remember that decision, because I think I called you and had a conversation about that 24/7, that customer that calls at 2 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. What kind of customer were they? So that was the first turning point, is moving away from being 24/7. I would never be 24/7 again.
For those who don't know, that middle of the night customer, that 2 a.m. customer, tell me what you mean there by what is that customer?
So that's a customer that calls me at 2 o'clock in the morning and says, I'm hot and I want it fixed. So I show up to fix it, but the caveat is yes, I'm charging them more and it profits high on them, but I'm tired. I've been running all day as well. I show up, it's back capacitor. Human tendency, put the part on, you got cold air, I'm heading back home to go to bed because I got another 8-10 hour day to go. So they don't get my full service because of that. But also, typically, the type of customer that calls at 2 o'clock at night, I'm not willing to wait. They just want it fixed. They're not going to. None of them ever call me back for a second service.
So they were one and done.
One and done.
And how about reviews? What kind of reviews did they leave for you?
None.
Interesting. So they probably never talked about you again.
Yeah.
So they weren't a referral source. They weren't a review source.
No.
They were a simple one-time service call money.
Yeah.
Where most of your customers you visit on a more regular basis?
Yeah. Yeah. Most of our maintenance customers.
Okay.
So we visit at least twice a year. They're more willing to leave a review. They're higher quality customers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So for anyone who's now thinking about starting their business, they heard what you said about just go ahead and do it. What would you recommend they do? What would their next steps look like?
So if I was doing it again, I was back in those shoes again. Next step would, you gotta get your name out, right? People are not gonna call you unless they know you, right? So step one is set up that website, set up all that, just find people to be able to find you. And then speaking heat and air wise, there's only two ways to really do it. Either you do it after hours or you quit your job and you do it full time. I believe if you can financially and emotionally do it, quit your job full time and work on your company full time.
That's a risk.
That's a risk. If you can financially and emotionally do it, that's the way I would do it. Because it's going to force you. to go find those customers. It's going to force you to grow your business, and it's going to force you to be a better business person.
Excellent. Thanks, Chris. How can people find you?
So my website's theheatandairguy.com.
Unique name again.
Yeah. From there, if you're looking for service, they can schedule online, or they can just click to call right there, and it comes to the office, and we can get them scheduled and take care of all their needs from there.
You know what? I've got a follow-up here because
Okay.
you just said something unique that we didn't talk about. So you said people could go to your website, theheatandairguy.com, but you said from there they could click to schedule service or click to call?
Yep.
Why don't you have a system where they essentially have to talk to you to make sure they get the right appointment slot that you want them in?
Well, not everybody wants to pick up the phone up to call. Multiple reasons why. People just don't want to be on the phone anymore, so they just want to get online, book it, have the technician come show up. Or maybe you're at work and you're busy and you just can't make that phone call, but you really need to get someone out to take care of it because your wife's calling saying she's hot. Well, right there you can see our live schedule and when we can have a technician there. Yes, it does throw a kink in our plans because we like to route our technicians, but at the end of the day, I want your business.
So do you think allowing for that flexibility of taking people scheduling themselves, kind of interrupting your day, is worth it?
Yes.
Why?
Because we get more customers that way, right? I have noticed the customers I get that schedule online are typically really good customers for some reason. I don't know why, can't explain how. I just have noticed in my tracking that the customers that book online turn out to be really good customers.
So you remove the friction, and they end up being better customers.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It is interesting.
All right. Thanks, Chris, for joining us today. Any last words?
No, if you're hot, call the Heat and Air Guy.
The Heat and Air Guy at theheatandairguy.com.
Yep, that's it.
I love that. Thanks, Chris.
Yes, thank you.